I just drew this little painting on here for my project, design team project for Robin's Nest, and I'm going to use some of their product to paint, you know, for the background, and to paint this. I went ahead and cut some just different shapes out of the papers, and so this is how I'm going to start. This is this paper right here, and so I just redrew it on here, and I'm just going to cut it out.
Okay, Mommy, you did the dishes? Oh, whoops. Should I give her TV here back? She did most of it. Well, she
One.
the lesson.
One.
Okay, just one.
Okay. So I drew this because I knew it'd take a little time. So I'm just going to add this here because I want to be able to paint over, you know, if I put it here. And so I'm going to use my Mod Podge. Matte Mod Podge. If I can get it open. This is how I get this open. Just I'm just going to use my finger. I don't know if you think, oh, why did you draw on the bottom and top if you're just going to cover it? Because I want it to be in the right spot. And I used permanent ink so that when I put the Mod Podge on, and it's not completely matched up. Can't. I just rub it into everything, because then with the Mod Podge over it, it seals the drawing, these flowers in. So it'll be easier, smoother to paint over. And you really don't have to use your finger if you don't like to. I just lazy and I don't like ruining my brushes, so I just use my finger. Okay, so now you have a layer of Mod Podge. And so this paper right here, I like the glitter and the flowers, so I cut the shape of the cupcake. Oh, out of this. I like the watercolor. I just love everything about it. It's a great base. And so I'm just going to do a little precision cuts, if I can spit it out today. Okay, I've got it. And so I'm just cutting out the little grooves in the cupcake. And then I'm just going to put this right over the top. It's alright if there's a little pink on the bottom. I'm going to take my Mod Podge again and just make sure it's matte. Make sure you have matte Mod Podge. I know a lot of people like the shiny stuff, but not particularly me. And then I have this purple glitter, which I love. And this is a girly cupcake. And I'm just going to cut this out. And this is going to be the cupcake part. And I tried to make it so, you know, it's the glitter. And I tried to get it as close as possible by eye. It's alright if it's a little bigger. You know, you can just fix it. But I do want to paint the cupcake itself. Okay. So this will be this part of the cupcake. So the cupcake's kind of purple. There we go. Then I'm going to add Mod Podge on top of it so the glitter stays. And I kind of want the background to be yellow. Because I'm going to use some blues, some greens, Just looking through my, guess I'm going to use my golden fluid. I always wipe my brushes off on a paper towel. And so I am going to put a little yellow on my mat. And the Mod Podge is not completely dried yet, but I don't really care. It's alright if a little bit of that gets into the Mod Podge. It's gonna stay. And I'm just doing like a little canvas. But you can do the same like this, the same exact on a journaling page. I just wanted to make my daughter a little bit of something for her room. So with all those brushes, there's a lot of hair coming off. Maybe that's why you should do it while the Mod. Don't do it while the Mod Podge is wet. Because now I've got to take the paper towel and wipe to get the hairs off it. I don't mind if there's textures on it, but I don't like it when there's hairbrushes on it. It makes it look very unprofessional. Like I use cheap brushes and I don't, so. So if you get hairs, like a whole bunch of hairs like that, or if you want it to kind of look like a watercolor, and just dab it off. Okay, there we go. So that. A light pink, and a little bit in the background. And this is liquid text, and I'm just blending it in because I really do want to see the white, and I really do want to, the yellow, I mean, and I want to also see the pink in spots. So I'm trying not to. Then I'm going to do the same with the paper towel. So some of the yellow will come up and you'll see some of the pink. What's up with that? The bottom I want to do this light blue and then a little pink over it. And this is Liquitex. I use Liquitex, Golden, whatever I possibly can. And I like my brush strokes to be hard. No way you could see them. Now I want to concentrate on the background. So we're gonna, I like the gold green. And I'm gonna paint the leaves a bit gold green. These ones. Because I still want to, this is kind of transparent and I still want to see the background. I'm kind of making these flowers whimsical with the, I am making the flowers whimsical. And as you see, I'm not doing it perfect. I like it kind of hard. I like to see the strokes. And you can do that with liquid, the golden liquid too. It doesn't necessarily have to be. You gotta just turn it upside down just so I can get a better look at it. Sometimes it's good when you're painting to change the perspective. Either get up, you know, move away from your painting, turn it around just so your eyes doesn't, you want to be able to see it from different angles so you can have a better perspective of how it looks. I hope that makes sense to you. I'm going to do a little red on the flowers. And I'm using liquid golden fatal red, I think it's called, Viral. And this is pretty bright, and it's okay if you don't have it perfect. They look like little ladybugs. I'll just add the circles in. Now I'm gonna take like blue chalk and I'm just gonna go around these leaves. Because they're green, but I want more color to them. Because that's just the way I am. And it's alright if, you know, some of it's wet and not all of them end up. Or you can take your paper that you have left over and just use them for the circles. And that will work too. You could do it. There's just so many ways of painting. Yep. It's good to have a different amount on each one. Because I'm going to go over this with a graphite pen too. To make sure it's... I love using my chalk pens. Got some white chalk and I'm just going to color in those dots. Just great for little dots. I just like to add little highlights here and there. Just, random highlights. Just makes the flowers look brighter, better. Can't explain it. Okay. I'm liking the flowers, but I'm still going to add ink. I just got to let some of this dry. Let me take some of this and just put some of it randomly here in the blue, just randomly. Whatever colors you're using, it's good to mix it up and add it in different spots. So for I don't know what I'm going to do like for these. Gotta think. Maybe I'm going to add a little pink to it. I'm just going to color the chalk. So I can highlight the red bottoms with it too, you know, just it's alright if you get some blue there too, it doesn't matter. Okay. Just add a little pink. Okay, now we've got to kind of paint this cupcake, what color are we going to add it? You know, even though there's glitter and stuff, I'm going to keep the purple and then I'm going to go and highlight it, but we still need to paint. No, I might just add a little white over the cupcake. I don't know. What do we have? Do we have light pink? I used it already. It's right here. Let's do that. Just add a little more pink. It doesn't really take much paper, so all you have to do really is just get a couple of sheets. I do want to see like the colors underneath, and so I'm going to let it dry slightly, and then I'm going to take the paper towel again and just make sure you get all the edges too. It's alright if you get a little bit off, and just rub, because you want to be able to see the pink underneath it, but you want it to look like you painted it too. It's kind of, I'll take some Mod Podge on the end, and if you have any that's sticking up, you just try to stick it under there. And but I don't want to take away from this because I really like it, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some, well, I'll wait on that. Just looking at my pens I have. So how I got all the pieces was this, is I drew it and on a separate piece of paper, and then I took the graphite paper and I drew it on all the other things so that I know it would work, you know. So that's how I did that. Now I'm trying to just highlight where I want like the jimmies. Because these are like little jimmies on here. I like layers and layers and layers, and so I'm just tracing over what I already drew before I lose it. Now I need like a glaze or something. That's transparent. I don't want transparent. I have this German glitter, and I'm thinking I'm going to use that for the little dots on here. give it a 3D effect. So if you wanted to put a pearl, I was thinking this after, you could put a pearl on it. So it's like 3D. And we'll let that dry. So I just went over this little glitter and I just added more to make it puffy so it doesn't just look like there's just glitter there now. There's a glitter there. I'm going to do the same with some of these. I'm just going to make sure that, you know, they look like flowers. Okay, there's a 3D puffy one there too. So I'm liking that. Now I'm just going over it because I'm going to seal this ink in. Some of it, it's not permanent ink, and I don't mind if some of it smudge. If you do, it gives it a good effect, you know. So I'm just going over it. Then I'm going to take a little bit of white and I'm going to add highlights in here. I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to add some right over, you know, some of this. I'm not going to put my fingers on the golden because I'm not sure how toxic it is, and I just want to add a little bit of brightness in some of this. And just a little bit. The brighter the better, I like. And this is mixed, this yellow that I'm so it still has all that texture that I added, but when you add the texture on top of it, it makes it a little brighter. So I like that, and then it's got that layered effect. And I'm not doing it everywhere. Just want it random. And so now, see, some of it smudges and just makes it all blend. So I like that. Now I've got to let it dry. But I am gonna put, I think this is it. I'm gonna write some different sayings on it, you know, about happy birthday, love, you know, and just little things and doodles. And when this dries, all I'm going to do is go over it with some India ink big brush pens, you know, just to highlight some of it, and then it will be done.